All right, it is week 9 and we are live. Can we have daylight savings time every week? 'Cause this was nice. I got to tell you, this is nice. I got a whole extra hour of time to do other things before we got to do this show, before we got to set our lineups, before we got to worry about start sits and inactives and before the games start. It's nice. It's really nice. Can we just every week? Let's just get an extra hour every Sunday morning. It's fantastic. No overseas London game. No overseas London game. But today I got a special guest for you. And he just popped in. I wasn't sure if he was even coming, but I'm really excited to see him. Sam, how you doing?
Right on time, baby. I'm right on time.
I can't hear a thing you're saying because I got to plug my headphones in.
Oh, I am right on time. And for anybody watching, Alex and I just did our streamers last night, and he told me he'd be on today. And I've been on. I'm going to try to do both, Alex. I've been on X this morning doing starts and sits, and saw he was coming on and thought I might jump in.
Well, where can the people find you on X or Twitter?
You can find me at Buy and Sell You. I, of course, do some Dynasty content for Yards Per Fantasy. And you can also find me at IBT Media, In Between Media.
So before you came on, I was kind of talking about daylight savings time. How awesome. I wish we could do it every Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why? Okay.
The extra hour is fantastic.
When the schedule makers are putting together the schedule, how come they don't plan the London game like around that?
You would think it's the 1 week we don't have a London game, right?
Right. I mean, you would think like get everybody an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's another topic, but I hate the London games with a passion. If they were at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd be all for it. I don't like the 9:30 games. Hate the 9:30 games.
Yeah, I mean, I just set my lineup the night before, and then while I'm starting my starts and sits, the game's already on, so I just turn it on. Luckily, the London games are usually shitty, so like they're usually two teams I could care less about.
Well, I like to get up and just kind of just take my time in the morning. I like to go for a nice long walk on Sundays.
Oh, yeah, there's none of that. There's none of that.
Today, usually I go for like one around my neighborhood. I go for one big loop. It takes me about a half hour. Today, with the extra hour, I doubled that loop. I went twice.
Wow, look at you.
So I am fired up. I'm ready. I am ready for this show.
I did sort of the opposite thing. Since there was an extra hour, I just stayed up an hour longer. Streaming stuff on television.
I did notice I got a reply to you in my DMs around 2 a.m. So
you what?
I said, I think you replied to me about something in our DMs about 2 o'clock in the morning. So
well, 2 o'clock for me is pretty typical. Like I don't usually go to bed till about 3, but I guess last night it would have been 4. Was it not for the time change? I was also involved in a TV show, and I just kept going. So,
all right. Well, we do have some questions now that we kind of, killed time while the questions came in.
Absolutely, and I apologize. I'm going to keep looking at my phone because I'm still getting some on my timeline as well.
Gotta get all the people covered. We gotta get the people covered.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Our first question here is Rico and Dowdle. Oh, also, I'm also live. I'm live on TikTok. They have no idea. They can't hear you, see you. They don't know who I'm talking to, but they're still asking questions. So we'll grab some of those as well. Anyway, are we starting Rico Dowdle or Xavier Worthy in half PPR? And based on your bold prediction from our show last night, if you haven't seen that, I would highly encourage you to watch that show. You get 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute show. You got time to do it right now. I'm thinking you're probably going to go Rico Dowdle, and I would say that's probably the right choice here.
I'm actually going to go Xavier Worthy.
What? What?
Well, I mean, okay, look, the point is we do really, really bold predictions.
That's right. Yeah.
So, do I think Dowdle's going to be the RB1 this week? Probably not. But I think Worthy is set up this week. I don't know what it is. I've had a feeling about it all morning. I can't explain this with numbers. I really can't. This is just a feeling. So you can take that for what it is.
Yeah, I made a trades video this week, and Xavier Worthy was one of my buys. So even though I think I would start Rico Dowdle over Xavier Worthy, I do think at some point Worthy is going to get himself going. This could be the week to do it against Buccaneers. Could be the week to do it. All right.
Yeah, that was my thinking because they're so susceptible to the long ball.
Yeah.
And I think Mahomes is probably getting kind of tired of Kareem Hunt's efficiency has gone down. So
it's been terrible. And Xavier Worthy's target shares have been going up for the last 2 weeks. He's had a 30% share 2 weeks ago. Even with DeAndre Hopkins on the field last week, it was at 21%. So eventually those big plays are going to start coming for Xavier Worthy. So Kyle is asking, in full PPR, should we do Jordan Love or Kirk Cousins?
I'm gonna go Cousins only because Love is still a little banged up, and I think that if they get a lead, they'll put Malik in.
It sounds like it might be a little bit of a weather game in
also
it's
supposed to rain there, which typically helps the receivers, but not necessarily the quarterback gripping the ball. I'd be safer with Cousins. I'd feel better about the way he's playing lately anyway.
Yeah, I think Cousins is probably the safer play there. Now he's got another couple parts of this question: Romeo Doubs or Jalen McMillan. For me, I think I got to go right back to McMillan. I'm going to go back to McMillan.
I'm going to go back to McMillan too. I think what we were expecting from him last week was realistic. He didn't deliver on it. I think this week he does.
Yeah, I'm looking at my wide receiver rankings. I've got Jalen McMillan, wide receiver 33, and Romeo Doubs, wide receiver 35. So they're very close for me. I would go McMillan. And the last part of Kyle's question is the Bengals or the Chargers defense?
You know what? I mean, not only am I wearing a Bengals jersey and I am a guilty Bengals homer, I am streaming the Bengals in several leagues this week against the Raiders. That was before the amount of people I saw were going to be inactive for my team. But I think this is one of the weeks that the defense steps up for them the way they have in 2 of their last 3 games, with the exception of Philadelphia. So I'm going to say stream the Bengals.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that. I might lean. That is tough because Gardner Minshew is pretty susceptible to turnovers. I was going to say Chargers because they're a better defense, but also they got Jameis Winston, who's just a turnover machine sometimes.
Right.
But so is Gardner Minshew. So I think you might be right there. All right, let's grab this question. I have 6 running backs. I need to start 3 of them. So Josh Jacobs, James Conner, J.K. Dobbins, Chase Brown, Rico Dowdle, Alexander Madison.
I've had a lot of questions like this today. With
I'm gonna look at. I think for me, we have to start Chase Brown with Zach Moss out.
Yep, I've got him ranked 20th this week.
And then the next guy I'm gonna go with is Josh Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's gonna come down to James Conner or J.K. Dobbins? I think, you got Connor going against the Bears defense. I think I have them close in my rankings. I'm going to pull up the rankings for this. So J.K. Dobbins is my RB20, and James Conner is my RB24. So I might lean J.K. Dobbins there.
Yeah, Dobbins is another one whose efficiency has gone down a little bit. I tend to like running backs against the Bears because their front seven's kind of Swiss cheese. But I'm also so trepidatious with James Conner. I'm just waiting for the day that he's going to get hurt. So,
we could say the same thing about J.K. Dobbins.
Well, you could, yeah, but he misses the whole season when he gets hurt.
That's right. He goes big. It's all or nothing.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you. Dobbins, Jacobs, Chase Brown.
Okay. All right, good. And I think it's pretty much a toss up between Dobbins and Connor. I feel pretty decent about either one of them, but I think Dawdle and Madison are probably the clear outs here for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm wrong about the Bengals defense, then it would be just like us to let Madison go crazy, just like we always let rookie quarterbacks go crazy, but I wouldn't bank on him.
All right. What about Tyrone Tracy or Josh Jacobs?
Wow. I'll go Jacobs. I like Tracy a lot. But I'm still sticking with Jacobs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tracy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Tracy. Now, this question came from TikTok. They have no idea that you said Josh Jacobs.
Okay, good.
So,
okay, good. Good, because we're not supposed to disagree.
Why not? Let's make some more fun. Yeah, I got Tyrone Tracy as a top 10 running back this week. I'm really all in on Tracy. I know the Commanders defense. I know the Commanders defense has played a lot better over the last few weeks. Their front seven's a lot much improved.
Yes.
And the Giants offense is terrible. However, I've been on Tyrone Tracy for a long time. I'm not coming off that bus. I'm going to go with Tyrone Tracy.
I have two. I just don't have them ranked that high this particular week. Actually, when I did my rankings, I was a little surprised at where I ended up putting him. So I can see why you would lean that direction.
What about Xavier Worthy or Keon Coleman? So we got to keep in mind that Amari Cooper is out.
Xavier Worthy.
Interesting. I'm gonna go Keon Coleman.
Okay, I'm still going Worthy. I'm still not sold on Keon. I know it's been 2 40-yard games. But I think with Cooper being out, that benefits Shakir as opposed to Coleman. And I still like Worthy up against that defense.
Yeah, I'm not a Coleman guy either. I'm not really sold on him either. However, with no Amari Cooper in a game that could turn into a shootout between the Dolphins and the Bills, and then you got Keon Coleman, the way he's been playing over the last couple of weeks, he has been heating up. They've been, finding more ways to get him the football. I am going to go Keon Coleman here. I have him ranked like right around wide receiver 25.
Yeah, the Dolphins have a pretty good pass defense. You know what I mean? Until they gave up 2 touchdowns last week, but prior to that, they had only given up 3 all year. So I guess I look at it as Worthy, like one play could get what you want from a flex.
Right, for sure. I think it just comes down to I'm a lot lower on Worthy this week than you are. So I've got Xavier Worthy ranked down at wide receiver 38. So he's a high-end wide receiver 4 for me this week.
Right.
Let's get this one from Travis. Ladd McConkey or Brian? Why? No, okay.
Brian Jr. Thomas.
Yeah, okay. He threw me off with that so bad. It's like, wait, Brian Jones? Wait. Brian Thomas Jr. BTJ, not BG. I can't even talk.
Do the Chargers play at 4:00?
That I don't know.
Let me find out real quick here, because that's going to be the first thing, because the Jaguars do.
Okay.
I'd be really, really shocked if Brian Thomas Jr. plays today.
Well, the news this morning was that he is expected to play.
See, that surprises me
It
because
did surprise me as well. Yeah,
initially they said this was going to be a 2 to 4 week injury.
right.
And then they changed it down to week, and then they were saying, well, maybe he could play this week. So I'm just not sure. If Thomas Jr. was playing, if I knew he was playing, I would say him. But since the jury's still out, I mean, McConkey goes off at 1:00. I don't know what your alternative is at 4 if you wait to see what Brian Thomas Jr. What his status is. I don't know if you have somebody else you can sub in or not, but Thomas Jr. is who I would play.
Yes, I agree. And I'm looking at the news right now on Brian Thomas Jr. You can find, so if you go to the rankings on yardsperfantasy.com, there's a little news button next to each player. I clicked on the news, and the news on Brian Thomas Jr. from 3 hours ago, courtesy of Fantasy Pros, is Brian Thomas Jr. is expected to play for the Jaguars against the Eagles this week. Now, he is going to have to go through pregame warmups without any setbacks, but the expectation right now is that he is going to play. So I'm with you. If he's playing, I'm playing him. As I have him as my wide receiver 16 this week, and I have Ladd McConkey down at wide receiver 32.
Yeah. I'm listen, I've gotten burned by Brian Thomas Jr. so many times this year. I've picked the other person that from now on, when anybody says Brian Thomas Jr., I say him.
Oh, thanks, Travis. 5 minutes later, after I stumbled all over this because you now he fixes it. BTJ. How about Tucker Kraft or Jake Ferguson? This question is from TikTok, and I always tell the TikTok audience, if you want to guarantee that I'm going to see your questions, guarantee that we're going to talk about your questions, and actually hear Sam's reply to it, come over to the Yards Per Fantasy YouTube channel. It's right in the bio on TikTok. It's Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube. Come on over, like, subscribe. We will definitely answer your question. So Jake Ferguson or Tucker Kraft?
Fergie.
Okay. I'm gonna go Tucker Kraft.
I like Kraft a lot. But again, with the love situation and the weather, and I think Ferguson is set up to really have a hefty volume this week. So
it could be
I've got them within 3 of each other on my side end rankings.
Yeah, I do as well. But yeah, that could be a nice shootout between the Cowboys and the Falcons today.
It could.
All right, let's get this one from Dave. He's asking Ladd McConkey or Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers. We don't know what's going to happen with Diontae Johnson. What his role is going to be today. He is expected to play, make his Ravens debut. However, I would expect that it'll probably be a little bit of a limited role for him as he gets acclimated to the team, learns the playbook, and so forth. Which way are you leaning here?
I'm going McConkey because I'm expecting Flowers to get the Surtain treatment from Denver. As a matter of fact, in my props article on Friday, I suggested betting the under on Flowers total yards, which was like 45, I think. So I'll go with Ladd.
It is a tough matchup going against the Broncos defense for Zay Flowers. However, once again, I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to go.
These guys in the chat are like, which one of these guys should I listen to?
I'm going to go Zay Flowers. I got him ranked still well within my top 20 wide receivers. I have him as my wide receiver 18. So I'm going to roll with him. I think you're going to see pretty typical Zay Flowers role today.
Right.
All right, let's get this one from Taz Beats. Should I start Ramondre Stevenson or David Montgomery? He says David Montgomery has been doing really well so far, but I feel Ramondre will put up 20. I think we're going to agree on this one. I have a good
I
feeling.
I don't ever usually go away from Ramondre because even when the defense is tough, he still is able to put up points. But Monty he scores like every week, man, and both running backs in that offense feed. So I'm gonna go with Montgomery.
All right, we agree.
Hallelujah.
David Montgomery is the play over Ramondre.
All right.
Let's get this one from DVO. He was in our show last night. I don't know if it was our show or my show. I don't know. He was in one of our shows last night. Do I start Tony Pollard or Javonte Williams?
Tony Pollard.
Yeah, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's expected to play. He's active. He is going to play.
No Spears.
No Spears. So I think we pretty confidently roll with Tony Pollard. The Patriots have been pretty susceptible to the run this year. Their coach just 2 weeks ago called them soft because of how bad they were against the run game. So we got to go with Tony Pollard. Javonte Williams fell flat on his face last week in a perfect situation for him against the Panthers. So Pollard's the play there. Let's grab this one
I'm phoning a friend.
Okay.
Hey.
Let's grab this one from TikTok. It's going to be either J.K. Dobbins or Tony Pollard.
Is expected to play, so I'd put him in flex instead of Jasicki.
J.K. Dobbins or Tony Pollard. I'm going to go Pollard over J.K. Dobbins here. Yeah. Pollard over J.K. Dobbins. I like the matchup there too much. Next one, I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard or Jackson Smith and Jigba with DK Metcalf out.
Wow. I'm going to have to look at my rankings. I spent a long time saying Chuba's efficiency is so much worse with Bryce Young at quarterback, but the Saints rush defense is so bad. I'm
going to go. I think I'm going to lean Jackson Smith and Jigba, even though you know what, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Hubbard.
Yeah, I think Chuba Hubbard's to play against the Saints. One more week before Jonathan Brooks comes back, they're going to roll with Hubbard.
I've got him. If I mix it up and make it flex, I've got them ranked like at least 15 apart. So I like Hubbard.
Yeah. Hubbard's the choice. TikTok, you didn't hear Sam's reply, but Hubbard is the choice. Let's grab this one from Dave on YouTube. Chase Brown or Josh Jacobs? No Zach Moss. Josh Jacobs has a tough matchup against the Lions. Should be a lot of points in that game, though, I would expect.
Yeah. Man, I just
so I have
such a hard time putting faith in Chase Brown as the bell cow, but I'll go with it. I'm going with Chase Brown.
Yeah, me too. I got Chase Brown, RB16, and Josh Jacobs, RB17. So they're back to back.
I'll tell you what, if Dave, if for some reason this is a standard league, I would probably switch to Jacobs. But assuming it is either half PPR or full PPR, definitely Chase Brown.
I would agree with that. Perfect way to hedge our bets.
There you go.
Let's get this one from Coda. Coda is asking start 2, full PPR, Wan'Dale Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins, Romeo Doubs, or Cade Otton. We got to start 2 of these guys. Otton's been hot. Dobbs has been hot. Hopkins, second game with the Chiefs. Wan'Dale gets some volume, but I think we got to go Otton and Dobbs from him.
I'm going Otton and D-Hop.
Okay. You know what? You're making me question myself.
Once again, I'm looking at that Tampa Bay pass defense.
I'm going to pull up my rankings for this one. Between Hopkins and Dobbs, you know what? I do have Hopkins ranked higher than Romeo Dobbs, wide receiver 31 versus wide receiver 35. So I'm with you. We're going Alton. We're going DeAndre Hopkins, which means Romeo Dobbs is going to have a huge game today.
That's right. 3 80-yard touchdowns.
I don't think he's capable of 80-yard touchdowns.
I don't think he can run 80 yards.
Let's grab another one from TikTok. Start Jahmyr Gibbs or Alvin Kamara. This is a baby league.
Oh, that's a really small. What is this? 6 teams in this league? I can't believe I'm actually going to check my ranking for this.
Start them both. Fine. Why can't you start those both guys, man?
Yeah, I'll
I guess
Gibbs against Green Bay, but it's probably going to rain. I'm slipping and sliding. I'll go with Kamara. I mean, they're playing Carolina, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Kamara could have one of his classic 6 touchdown games against the Panthers. So we're going to go Kamara.
Or he could throw a touchdown, receive a touchdown, and run for a touchdown.
Oh, I think that's going to be Taysom Hill. Let's get this from T. Cardi, Khalil Shakir, or Ladd McConkey. This one is an interesting one with no Amari Cooper.
I like Shakir.
Yes, Shakir is the answer. I moved Shakir up pretty significantly. I already had him pretty high, above consensus. I moved him. I believe he's in my top 20. He's in my top 24, wide receiver 23 this week. So, yeah, I'm going to go Khalil Shakir there as well.
I love Shakir anyway, so any chance I get to advise somebody to put him in, I'd love the guy.
Yeah, I've always been a Shakir guy as well. How about Bo Nix or Joe Burrow?
That's
a tough one.
I just have to go rookie versus veteran. I'm gonna say Burrow.
Yeah, I've got Burrow ranked as my QB 6 against the Raiders. Bo Nix as my QB 10. I know it's a really nice matchup for the with the Ravens. From a passing perspective, but the Ravens give up their fantasy points in passing yards, passing touchdowns. Bo Nix scores a lot of his fantasy points as a runner. And the Ravens have held both Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels under 25 rushing yards when they played them earlier this year. So it could be a little bit of a tougher, sneaky tough matchup for Bo Nix to get there the way that he gets there. So I do think while they're both top 10 quarterbacks this week, Joe Burrow is the right call.
Yeah, that's right. And like I said, my worries about Chase Brown as a bell cow probably means more throws to the backfield than rushes.
McKissicky. All right. Get this one from FGDGSY. I'm not going to say the whole thing.
Eckler.
Half PPR, Eckler or Chubb. Yeah, it's definitely Eckler here. No Brian Robinson. Good matchup against the Giants. Nick Chubb is also going to have Jerome Ford jumping back into that situation. It's going to muddy that backfield. Nick Chubb already wasn't playing the full slate of snaps anyway. Right. So Eckler is the pretty no-brainer call for me as well.
I'll even go so far as to say Chubb will score a touchdown this week, but Eckler will still outscore him.
Yeah, wow, nice. I like that. All right, how about Chubb or ETN?
Do we know that ETN is playing?
Yeah, all indications are Travis Etienne is going to play.
Then ETN, and I need to make another phone call.
Yes. So it is going to be Travis Etienne. I agree there. All right, I'll take some questions from TikTok. Jaden Daniels or Patrick Mahomes. Jaden Daniels, Austin Eckler or Tony Pollard. I think we got to go Eckler there. Tony Pollard or Tyrone Tracy.
In for
How about Tyrone Tracy there? I think he's a top 10 running back this week. Brian Thomas Jr. or Tony Pollard. Ooh. Brian Thomas Jr. or Tony Pollard. That's a really tough one. We both like Brian Thomas Jr. Both are dealing with injuries.
Yep.
I think I got to go Pollard here. He's going to get the guaranteed touches as the running back.
I concur.
Okay. So we're both going Tony Pollard over Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, when it's that close, I always opt for the running back.
Yeah.
Like you said, for the guaranteed touches.
Guaranteed touches, yeah.
And probably some throws out of the backfield too.
Oh yeah, for sure. How about start Jordan Love or Sam Darnold?
Darnold.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go Love, but Sam's going Darnold. How about Jared Goff or Kyler Murray?
It's a good question.
So I've got Kyler Murray ranked as my QB 13, got Jared Goff as my QB 16. I'm gonna go Kyler Murray.
Why am I thinking about this? What do I have?
MVP candidate Jared Goff.
That's right.
He's got the wind and the rain to deal with today, then.
Okay. I've got Murray as my 10 and Goff as my 19.
Okay. So we're on the same page there.
Yep. Kyler
Murray. How about Darnell Mooney or Brian Thomas Jr.?
Oh man. These are good ones. Got some good ones today. Every time I doubt these are two guys that I doubt every week, and every week they prove me wrong. I'm gonna go Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay. Yeah, me as well. It is close.
He's a better player.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I have Brian Thomas Jr. I don't have the rankings up right now, but I have Brian Thomas Jr. right around wide receiver 18. I think Mooney's probably around wide receiver 25. So it's relatively close, but I do agree that Brian Thomas Jr. is the play there. All right, we got about 3 minutes till kickoff. How about Cedric Tillman or Xavier Worthy?
Worthy.
All right, Sam's going Worthy. I've got Cedric Tillman ranked 2 spots ahead of Xavier Worthy. I'm going to go with Cedric Tillman. How about Jalen Coker or Roman Dunze?
Odunze. It's going to happen.
Yes, I agree. I think I was a week early last week. A week early. Yep. This could be the Roma Dunze breakout game today. I'm so glad you said that. Glad you said that.
Well, the other thing with Coker is, all right, you got Bryce Young under center.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't do it with Diontae Johnson. What makes everybody think he's going to do it with Jalen Coker?
Yeah. That was the tweet that Dave Kluge put out yesterday, and it made me really seriously doubt my sleeper call on that show last night. But I ended up going with it.
Don't line Coker.
How about Pitts or Njoku?
I like Kyle Pitts this week. Let me see where I have him ranked. Yeah, I prefer Pitts this week.
Yeah, I've got Njoku tight end 5, Pitts tight end 6. So it's really close. They're both good plays.
Yep, I'd say go with your gut.
Marvin Harrison Jr. or Tyrone Tracy?
Oh, I got to go Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, me too. It's the same thing we said before with the running back. When it's that close, so let's get those guaranteed touches.
Yep.
And Marvin Harrison Jr., he's been so streaky. He's hot for a game, and then he gets cool for a few more games. And he's got to go against the Jalen Johnson show with the Bears defense.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that was the right call there. All right, I think we can take one more from TikTok. One more before kickoff. We got to make it a good one. How about Bucky Irving, Keenan Allen, or Xavier Legette?
Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving is the call. I agree. Bucky Irving has been taking a lot of the receiving work along with Rashad White in place of those missing wide receivers. I expect that to continue. So Bucky Irving is the call despite a tough matchup against the Chiefs today. All right. That is our start to show. It is 1:00. It is time for kickoff. Make sure if we didn't get to your questions, make sure you check out everything we're doing at yardsperfantasy.com. Rankings on yardsperfantasy.com. We have a start sit tool, trade calculator. Everything is there. We also have a Discord channel. You can just jump in and ask our questions from there. All right. Thanks everybody who tuned in. Thanks Sam for joining, and we'll see you guys next week.